Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Tadria, and welcome to another episode of The Sisters. And here we are serving injured souls to encourage, rejuvenate, and strengthen your spiritual healing, one seed, one question, and one conversation at a time. Guys, guess what? We have an awesome episode for you today. And as always, let me not forget to introduce myself. I am the Sister Tadria, and joined with me, as always, is the Sister Tab. Tell everybody what's up.
Hello, everybody. How's you doing?
Well, guess what? So, today our episode is about what's happening next,
Yeah.
right? So, what we are going to do today, we have a huge announcement and we are very, very, very excited. So, drum roll, please. Okay, so y'all listen, we kind of sleepy, but listen, what we are doing today is we are making a couple of huge announcements that's extremely important to us. So we are going to talk about a couple of things. So what's happening now? Sissy, would you like to tell everybody what's actually happening now?
So, what's happening now? We have several things. I'm going to say the things and then we'll elaborate because we having so many things happening. So, the
Right.
play is coming up October the
Yay!
22nd, 2022. So, we are very, very, very excited about that. It is called He's Yours, Not Mine.
Okay.
It would definitely bless your heart. The tickets are going to be going on sale on tomorrow. So when you listen to this broadcast, you guys can definitely purchase your tickets on Eventbrite, or you can actually get it from us, or you can even leave a comment on our YouTube channel, and then we'll be able to get it from there. But we're
Okay.
excited about what's going to happen.
Okay. And would you like to tell everybody what else we got going on?
And we also have two new journals out. So we're excited about that. Father, can you hear me? And then since you could tell them the men's journal.
The men's journal is Catch the Dream.
Yeah.
So we are really, really excited about Father, Can You Hear Me? And we are extremely excited about Catch the Dream as well. So some of you know and some of you don't know, our very first journal that came out was called The Dream Catcher, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Dream Catcher is a journal for women. And to briefly give you a kind of understanding of what the dream catcher is. So the dream catcher was it was literally an obedience movement, right? So we literally refer to the dream catcher as an obedience movement. It was something that um, my sister and I walked through together. So some of you know, and some of you don't know, I was trying to fight my way out of depression a couple of years ago. It was a really, really tough season of my life and things were happening. So the different prompts that's in the dream catcher is literally prompts that were conversation pieces to bring out emotion and understanding and feeling and just what was happening in my life, the thoughts that I was having. And they were literally conversation pieces that the other sister Tab was saying to me in different telephone conversations that we would have. And in the process of those conversations, I literally had to write my way out of and speak my way out of depression because I was determined not to go to counseling. Now, do I advise no counseling? Absolutely not. Because that was a rough season for the both of us. It was crazy, right? So when I tell you the dream catcher, I would call literally in tears almost. When I tell people that I spent 2020 crying, I don't think they understand that I literally spent 2020 crying.
She
I
did.
believe, right. I think there's 365 days of a year. I think I cried 360 days out of the year for 2020. And literally every day I would call her crying. And depending on the tone of my hello sissy would determine whether or not she would respond to me with, hey girl, hey, or tell me how you're feeling today. And those different prompts would that she would just say would bring out a different conversation and a different reaction, a different emotion. So you know what? While we're talking about that, Sissy, tell us what made, like, tell anybody that's listening right now so they kind of get an understanding of what the Dreamcatcher is all about. Kind of tell us what prompted you to say some of the things that you said that brought out some of the prompts that we actually put in the Dreamcatcher.
I think that once you get to know a person, whether you know them, well, excuse me, whether you know them directly or indirectly, especially when you're close to someone, you will be able to kind of hear what they're feeling, or you kind of feel what they're feeling depending on the tone that they're using. So I think, and the dream catcher is very amazing, because I tell you, even some of the prompts that was used, it was only because being attentive, even when you're going through a different state of whatever that is, and whomever you have in your life, it is very imperative, important that people understand your hurt. Now, they may not know the hurt per se, but just to hearing the voice, I think that's what the dream catcher will really bring when you're going through it. Even in this way, you don't have that person that can hear you. If you get the dream catcher, some of those prompts that are in there, if you just read them and then write out what that means to you, that would definitely help. So it's not necessarily that you just have to have someone there, which is kind of like how we kind of did it. I guess whatever I said, and then she would respond. If you get the book, I guarantee you it will bless you. And if you're going through anything, whether good or bad, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we just need to talk to ourselves, and we need to be able to really hear what God is saying to us through dreams, through visions, through anything that we're happening. You can find that in the dream catcher.
That's good. And it's interesting that you say that, because one of the other things that's important for people to know about the Dreamcatcher, even though it's a book for women, the Dreamcatcher is also one of those books that'll be extremely helpful if you have a young lady on the spectrum, right? Because you know that sometimes when you're dealing with somebody that may be autistic or that may have some type of learning disability of some sort, you can, a lot of times what you fail to realize as someone that's not on the spectrum and that's not used to dealing with an individual of that nature, that your words have power,
Mm,
right? And that your words have meaning. So a lot of times conversation is always that number one key that can talk anybody down off of a ledge, as long as you understand what's going on with that person in that moment, as long as you have the ability to communicate effectively. And a lot of times when you're dealing with those children or you're dealing with those individuals that are on the spectrum, and they may not know what they're feeling, but if you just take a moment to just ask them, okay, well, how are you feeling today? Well, what do you feel like? Well, hey girl, hey, just prompt a really cool conversation, right? Or just
mhm.
say something that'll prompt an emotion or a less than negative reaction, and that'll be extremely, extremely helpful. But when I tell you the Dreamcatcher was an obedience movement, and not only was it an obedience movement, because after I went through it, we both heard God say, put it in the book. So it was
Mhm.
never about what was going to come after. It was literally all about being obedient and hearing God's voice and moving in that moment and just being able to help somebody else along the way, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm extremely excited about the Dreamcatcher, and you can find it on Amazon, or you can reach out to us. You can leave a comment under this video, and we can definitely get the book over to you. If you want a signed copy, we can sign it for you and get it over to you. Or if you just want just a copy, we can do that as well, and you can order on Amazon. And the next journal that we have is the men's journal, which is also really great for those young men that are on the spectrum. So the men's journal was kind of taxing for the both of us, not as taxing as the dream catcher though, but the men's journal was like a different essence. So, Sissy, when we talk about the men's journal, in your mind, how did that come about?
I think that a lot of times people put men and women in two different categories, which in some essence it is, but as it relates to feelings, I think it's very imperative we understand that men have feelings as well. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think the men's journals are really going to help out from the men perspective, because not only do I have to, now I don't have to share my thoughts outwardly. He'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to share his thought privately, but then it will be a healing that would take place as he write his thoughts down. So I am really excited about the men's journal, because I think, again, often, so many times, they are being told, don't cry, don't share your emotions, don't do this, don't do that. But God has given us a way that we could be able to reach the men from a perspective of, I don't have to hear that part of that. I can write it out and still be healed and still be vulnerable and still be all those things, and still then come out healed and set free. Because people don't realize, as a writer, you're actually writing, or not necessarily a writer, but you're just writing down your thoughts. You're actually writing stuff that means something to you or to someone else. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that this is going to be, I'm excited about all the books. I really am. But this right here for men, I was going to see our men come out and be able to be more vocal, even in the
Mm-hmm.
writing perspective, but in the mind as well.
I agree with that. And you know what, fellas? If you purchase the journal and you feel like the journal is working for you, by all means, send us a comment. Send
Yes.
us something. Send us a message. Like, we want to know how the men's journal is working for our fellas. Because at the end of the day, literally, it's like men, society has given men this image, which
Yeah.
it's true, right? Men are expected to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders and not complain about it, right? So
Right.
it's like, you have to be strong. You have to do this. It's your job. It's your responsibility to carry this. It's your responsibility to be this. But at the end of the day, men have feelings, just like you said. Men have emotions, and there's a lot of things that men need to say that they won't say
Yeah.
because they're afraid, or not necessarily afraid, but society has made it a situation where men aren't allowed to express themselves appropriately
Yeah.
without looking like a punk or
Ab-
without being weak. But To Catch the Dream offers a guy that safe space to say what he needs to say, to get off his shoulders whatever it is he needs to get off his shoulders, whether he share it with someone else or whether he keeps it to himself. At the end of the day, he still got it out,
Yes.
right? And then one of the things that we were adamant about, because we can't be men on our best day, right? We
Absolutely.
can't pretend to be men,
Mhm.
but one thing that we do know is that there's there's a woman that strengthens a man. Not always, but as women, we do strengthen men. As
Yeah.
women, we can weaken a man, right? And one of the things that we were extremely adamant about is to make sure that no matter what this journal did, it always spoke life. So one of the things that we stood fast on is that the title at on every is at the top of every page of the journal, be it a prompt, which is at the very front of the book, or throughout, he's encouraged, right? So the top of every page says, greater is he.
Hmm.
And even though that's like a complete scripture in the Bible, any man can look at that and he can make that phrase whatever it is, in my opinion. This was my thought process. Even though it's not the full scripture, but any man can look at greater is he, and he can make that whatever he needs to be for himself in that moment,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And in my mind, my thought process was, being a mother of two strong young men, what would I like for them to see in this journal? So, not necessarily did I need them to just be focused on the scripture in the Bible, greater is he. I wanted them to be able to understand, you know what, greater is he, greater am I,
Mm.
right? So as a man, greater am I as a son, greater am I as a brother, greater am I as a friend, greater am I as a potential husband, greater am I as somebody's potential boyfriend, right? Greater am I. So that was my thought process. So a guy can make that phrase whatever it is he needs to be in that moment. Greater am I at my job today,
Mm-hmm.
right? Greater am I at being a perfect son. Greater am I at being a perfect husband. Greater am I at being a perfect brother, a perfect cousin, a perfect whatever it is he needs to be in that moment. Greater is he.
Yes.
So I was really, really excited about that. So guys, trust me, when you get this journal, reach out. Let us know how the journal works for you, how it helps you, how it encourages you, and how it just basically empowers you in that moment to get out whatever it is that you need to get out. And teachers, single mothers, doctors, psychologists, anybody out there, to catch the dream for men is also great for those young men that are on the spectrum, because
Yeah.
there's some awesome prompts in there as well that can just help you get out the emotion that you need to get out to understand what's happening in that moment. So the dream catcher, catch the dream, they are great for those individuals that are on the spectrum, as well as us adults that just need to get it out and say something, right? So last but not least, Father, can you hear me?
Yes.
The title itself, oh my God. And I am not even going to cry. I'm going to try to be a big girl today. I am not going to cry. But Father, Can You Hear Me came after the depression phase. So, Sissy, what does Father, Can You Hear Me? What does this journal mean to you?
Well, this journal is very powerful because it's actually for men, women, whomever that wants to be able to. Well, I mean, I think it could be for whomever that would like to read it, even from a young girl's perspective or a young man's perspective. Because listen, when I hear "Father, can you hear me?" that means I am really just asking him to hold me, to hear my voice, to know that I know that he hears me for my
Hmm.
own self. And I think not only are you going to see this wonderful title, but I truly love the inside because it actually my sister called it affirmation, because that's how she'll tell that story to you guys. But I think that as you read the journal, then you write, it is very
Mm-hmm.
good, because as you read what you read, then you're able to write it out in your life. What does
Hmm.
that mean to you? So, Father, can you help me? Can you hear me? Excuse me. Is an amazing, literally is an amazing journal.
I agree. And now that you say that, and now that I'm thinking about it, we have initially started promoting Father, Can You Hear Me as another women's journal. But now that you say that, it's universal.
It's universal.
And for some reason, and I think and Father, Can You Hear Me comes with 7 prompt pages.
Mhm.
And it is literally it's a writing journal. But the prompt pages are basically affirmations and encouragement, and it's about choices. And my favorite, not that all of the prompts don't have significance to us in our lives, and prayerfully they'll have some significance to you guys in your lives, but one of my favorite prompts in Father, Can You Hear Me, one of the affirmation pages, is the essence of me.
Mm.
That is one of my favorites that's in Father, Can You Hear Me? And basically, Father, Can You Hear Me is literally, it's personal to me,
Mhm.
right? And not only is it personal to me, it came from a conversation with Tabitha, with my sister, because we have come to learn, and I'm saying we because I don't know how much accountability I want to take in front of all y'all, because I don't know how many of y'all gonna watch this or listen to this. So I don't know how much accountability that I really want to take. But uh, the essence of me is a love letter to me. And not only is it a love letter to me, it's basically it's a healing love letter to me about understanding what love is and being able to overcome the idea of what love is not.
Hmm.
Right? And when we see love, when we feel love, and when we hear love through love, because God is love, then it's in that place
Mm-hmm.
that we get a better understanding of the essence of love,
That's good.
right? So that is one of my absolute favorite inserts in Father, Can You Hear Me? And
Yeah.
I almost, that was a struggle to even include it in Father, Can You Hear Me? Because I honestly felt like that was personal between my sister and I, because that was a personal struggle in my mind. That was a personal struggle that I was having. And bits and pieces from the personal struggle that I was having came from a personal conversation between the two of us. So I felt like if I share too much of what we talk about, right, that it was going to be exposing me. But in the midst of that, I had to understand that if I'm struggling with heart issues, then there's somebody else struggling with heart issues. And now that we think about it, women aren't the only people that's struggling from heart issues.
Of
There's
course.
men struggling from heart issues as well, because you have a lot of men that feel like, you know what, love ain't for me because I've been there, done that, now I want to do it again. Got the t-shirt, the PhD, and the degree, right? We don't want to do it anymore. But when we understand the essence of where love came from, who love came from, then it makes it easier to love,
Yes.
right? So one of my absolute favorites is The Essence of Me. And I promise you guys, get the journals. They are so very helpful. Another one of my favorites is, and I'm not gonna tell you the name of it, I'm gonna wait until you get the journal for yourself. But another one of my favorites basically talks about the ability to make a choice and how you respond to the choices that you make. So I am extremely excited. So you can either leave us a comment and you can contact us to order journals. You can get your journals on Amazon. Um, the tickets for the play go on sale. By the time you hear this broadcast, the tickets will be on sale for the play. If you're in the Kansas City area, the play He's Yours Not Mine will be at the Gym Theater in October. So make it your business to be in the place. I promise you, it will absolutely, positively bless your soul.
Yeah.
Um, and we're not just saying that because it's us, right? We may be a little bit biased, but we're not saying that just because it's us. So it's a lesson learned. Um, there are a couple of hidden testimonies within within He's Yours Not Mine.
Mhm.
So we are looking forward to seeing you guys coming out. We are extremely excited. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please leave them down below and we will get back to you. We're just so excited about everything that we have coming up. We are excited about you guys just coming to join us and hang out with us. Um, we're just excited. We
Absolutely.
are we're just extremely excited when we tell you that things are happening so fast. And trust me, we only listed a snippet of things that's happening in this broadcast, but there is more than that to come. There's a lot of things that, is still in the works that we're just not able to tell you right now because things are kind of happening really, really fast. But as soon as things are like in place and where it needs to be, we will be sure to tell you. So just by all means, be on the lookout. So if you have a family member or a friend that's in the play and you have questions about tickets and all that good stuff, then by all means, I'm pretty sure that they'll probably be tagged in one of the links in this video. Reach out to them, ask questions, find out how you can get tickets. Um, share. We're just excited, right? So, Sissy, what else you got?
I think that was about it. So I want to give a little snippet of the play. I won't tell it all, but just enough to where when you get your ticket, you understand the meaning of he's yours, not mine. So real small, real small. So there's a husband and wife, very well to do, have a wonderful son in church, love God, but by a incident and a crazy incident, it's a drive-by shooting, and he gets killed. So then the face is gone of the mothers,
Mm,
but the husband still has it, but maybe,
just maybe.
just maybe, he either falls off or he stays on. But then you also have sisters that loses their mom. How do either one of them handle it? Do they
Ah,
do they fall off and get
right.
back on, or do they stay encouraged and still see
Ah,
the face of God?
I like
So
what you did with that.
so we ask that you come on out. Again, it's at the Gym Theater, 1618 East 18th Street in Kansas City, Missouri. You can also reach us at 816-996-3381. And that's whether for the books, the journals, for the journals or the play. We are actually here to be a service to you as you read the journal, write the journal, and be healed from the journal, and then also be healed from the play.
Amen. I'm excited. And on that note, that is a perfect place for us to hang our hat. And guys, we are looking forward to seeing you. We are looking forward to meeting you face to face. By all means, when you see us at the play, when you see us out and about, because a lot of you know us, you recognize us by name, feel free to just come over, introduce yourselves. I promise, we friendly faces, I promise. So listen, guys, we are just somebody trying to tell everybody about one body that can save everybody. We are looking forward to seeing you. We love you. We appreciate you. And that's what's happening now. We will talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right.